What's up, guys? Today we're going to be checking out the base model Galaxy S25. The S25, the regular smaller version, is always kind of underrated. Here, a lot of people are going to be, looking to trade in and upgrade, especially if you're coming from what I've noticed. These are the questions that I get. Typically, Galaxy S21 and 22 users have a lot of battery issues and a lot of overheating problems if you're a, heavier user. So this could be a potentially good trade-in deal for you, and you do get a this is one of the options. I thought this was the best option, this Galaxy watch, which I'll review for you guys in another video. But let's go ahead and check this one out. Not too much has changed with the base model S25 here. Alright, so this is the blue color here, and this is absolutely beautiful. Wow, this is really nice looking, and this thing is in here pretty tight. Wow, this is awesome. I wish the actual ultra color was like this. This is really nice. This might be my favorite color from Samsung of all time. I really like how it looks when it shifts too. Wow, that is awesome. And here are the sides here. Let's do our peel. Yeah, I mean, this color is amazing looking, guys. I really like this. And of course, in the box here, we are going to get our SIM ejection tool and our Type-C to Type-C cable here. As far as the build quality goes, I don't think anything has changed with the build quality besides the cameras look different. They have like the thicker kind of lens on here now. That's really the only way you could tell this and the S24 apart here. And yeah, very easy to hold, very easy to one hand. Absolutely love the base model phones. If you just don't like those really big phones. So let me get the, and dang, this is not charged up. Okay, let me get the S24 here for size comparison. And I'll do a little comparison between these two phones for you guys. But as you guys can see, it's a much, like, if you have smaller hands, it's such a way more easier phone to hold. So definitely, if you guys want something easier to hold. Alright guys, let's talk about the display here. The display has basically been untouched here. So this does have a 6.2-inch display. It's dynamic AMOLED LTPO display, and it does have the 120 Hz HDR10 Plus. And then it is 2600 nits peak brightness, still the same resolution at 1080p, and then 416 for the PPI. And then we also do have about 91% screen to body ratio on here. And yeah, nothing has really changed with this display. It still has the Gorilla Glass Victus 2 as well. And it's nothing to complain about. It's still a very good display. The max brightness is still very good outdoors in direct sunlight, but there's actually no difference from the S24. So that's why I said this upgrade makes more sense if you're coming from a much older device. Then the display will look a lot better. You'll kind of feel those upgrades. But coming from a newer base model S20 series phone, it's not going to be that impressive at all. And let's see, turn the vividness up. Yeah, so we get those nice vivid colors on here. So now it kind of looks like the older displays a little bit. But yeah, so as far as the panel, it's still a very good panel, guys. I don't have any actual issue with this, even though it is a completely untouched panel. And yeah, so I do want to go ahead and touch on software. This is out the box One UI 7. It's blazing fast, super smooth here. And really the main upgrade here is going to be this new chipset, guys. It's the Snapdragon 8 Elite processor here. We also do have the Adreno 830 GPU. We also do have on here the UFS 4.0 storage, and then it's 128 gigs and 12 gigs of RAM, so you can do all the AI stuff really quickly. Everything is very smooth on this phone, so you won't have any of the problems using the Gemini and the Circle to search and all that stuff. It was never really a problem, but this just kind of makes it future proof with this 12 gigs of RAM. You can do all the AI stuff, so when they introduce more AI stuff, this phone should be able to run it for years and years, for a long time. You get these 7 years of major OS updates. I did run the 3D Mark test for you guys here, so you guys can see Here is the 3D mark. We got 34.71 frames. Here is the overall score. You can see scored better than 95% of all other devices here. We lost a little bit of battery life there for sure, 63, but it's still kind of learning my battery. But we also do have the temperature right here, 35 to 43, 16 to 48. So those are the scores for right now. And yeah, so performance wise, you know, just my first impressions, it's a very, very fast phone. Everything is super speedy, and yeah, so I expect this to, you'll feel the difference if you're coming from like an older phone for sure. Now performance is going to be very good on here if you are a gamer. So we're talking about 120 frames for PUBG here, and it should be very, very fast, very smooth, consistently, even if you are playing emulators. So I would say if you're like a heavier gamer, you're playing like emulators and stuff like that, because the S24 could already do that stuff really well, could already play PUBG in the S23 at 120 frames, so it's not a big difference. But I really want to put this through the test when it comes to like the emulation and stuff like that. But like I said, you will only see the benefit of this device if you're coming from an older phone. But yeah, this phone is not really like heating up and stuff like that. Just with my short time with it, it has remained relatively cool, so that is really nice. But yeah, the GPU in here is so strong, and the processor has made such a big jump that it's kind of like it can't really take advantage of it. Like it's kind of hard to show like how you could take advantage of this actual speed on here, maybe with like some video editing and stuff like that, rendering time, and like maybe if you're shooting in like 4K, rendering in 4K, stuff like that, you'll notice that difference. But yeah, as far as like gaming, yeah, the gaming on here is really good, but it's not like it's dramatically different from what we've been seeing. And as far as the cameras, I'm really loving, like I said, the One UI 7 interface. The camera controls are just easier to get to. And yeah, as far as the image quality goes, again, the same thing. You won't notice too much of a difference from the newer models, but I will do the comparison so you know we can see them side by side so we can make sure. But yeah, guys, the cameras look very, very good here, so you're getting excellent quality photos. I'm really curious what these cameras actually look like compared to an S25 Ultra. But we have a 50 megapixel standard, 10 megapixel telephoto, 3x optical. This still goes up to the 30x zoom. And then we also do have a 12 megapixel ultra wide. It can shoot in 8K 24 and 30 with a 12 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K 60. So I think the shots still look really good. The nighttime photography looked great as well. Low light still looks good, and you get those nice crispy shots, great dynamic range, great color. So yeah, I actually like the cameras a lot. I don't have an issue with the base model, especially you'll notice it for sure if you're coming from an older model with these low light photos. Let's make sure these speakers still sound good. The S24 speakers sound excellent for the size, so hopefully these still sound the same. I mean, by themselves, they sound pretty good. I don't have an issue. Good bass quality, overall loud sound. I need to compare them to the S24 because I feel like the S24 is louder. Yeah, but I can't make for sure though. So the speakers just by themselves in general, they do sound good. So I don't have an issue with that. The fingerprint scanner has not changed. Still the ultrasonic, still works extremely well. And then the last thing is the battery has basically not changed at all, guys. And you know, it's a 4,000 milliamp hour battery. They haven't improved the fast charging. It's still 25 watts. And I'm thinking Samsung, since they have 7 years of updates, they're predicting that people are gonna have their phone for a long time, so they don't want fast charging to degrade battery life or something like that. At least that's what I think. And you have your wireless and reverse wireless charging. I'm curious about the battery life on here, so I have to give it, you know, a little bit more time using this phone to learn my usage and just kind of see how it's draining. But the battery life should be on par with the S24, which also had very good battery life, if not a little bit better, since we have a more efficient chipset. So hopefully that is the case. But yeah, I think my favorite thing about this phone is actually the color. I absolutely love this color, guys. This color is crazy.